for 11 years?
I'd say closer to 8, like 2011. But like, I didn't start doing it like consistently until 2013.
So when you say consistent, you mean like what, 4 or 5 times a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, actually, when I first came to Chicago, started doing some mics, and like that's kind of when I consider when I started doing stand up. But
Where are you from originally?
from Evanston, Illinois, so
Okay.
suburb just north.
Okay.
But my dad had a place in Rogers Park, so I went back and forth. So like, I know the city. Like, I'm a North Side guy.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So what made you decide to do, like, when you decided I want to do this shit for real? What was the spark for that?
It was like just I always wanted to, man. I just it was just like boredom, kind of like I'm just sitting at home playing Call of Duty, like,
Yeah.
and then I went to some mics. I'm like, this is way more fun, and they're at bars, dude. Like, you know.
Very childlike.
What?
It's something you just enjoyed doing.
Yeah, I was 23, so like I was like pretty young, and I just liked the comedy, man. Like, It was a cool hang.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
And is the goal to live off of this? Is the goal to get fucking famous? Is the goal you don't have a goal? Like, what's the...
I don't really have like a goal. It's kind of bad, like, and it probably shows in like where I'm at now, because like people will say I'm behind or whatnot, but like honestly, I just want to get good enough right now. Like, my goal is to just get good to be where I'm like a local headliner and can do shows at regional shows, like, but it's hard. I'd like to like not worry so much about the day job as much as I do, and like that would be pretty cool if you could hit it in comedy, but I just know it's a very hard road to climb. And like, it's kind of hard breaking that balance, man, from like having like a Monday through Friday job and then going all in, you know.
Yeah, the working all day, it like sucks you of your juices, so that coming up with material or being willing to go out to mics till potentially like 1 a.m. I know what you mean there. You said something interesting. You said people say you're behind.
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
Well,
That's
all right.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Like I'll just say it, like I did like some auditions for clubs, and then sometimes the club manager would be like, well, how long have you been doing stand-up? And then you'll say like 5 years, and then this was probably like 3 years ago, and they're like, yeah, you know, you could be a little further along. They know the business better than most comics, need some guidance, but like I think like when you're 5 years in, you should probably, if you're really into stand-up, probably be working towards like an album, or like be kind of like, you know, like hitting some milestones. I don't think I've hit like any milestones, you know, like, I don't know.
Do you,
career-wise.
so do you personally feel behind, or do you feel like that critique of yourself is incorrect? Or do you just not even give a fuck and you're just doing you?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I personally think I am behind, but it's also like self-commitment. So like, I know I'm not putting in as much effort, probably as much as people that are all in, you know. So, but I think
Well, I see you at mics and everything. So
Yeah.
when you say you're not putting in effort, what do you mean?
It's more like reaching out to like the business side, like the clubs and like traveling, you know. It's hard to do that, man. Like maybe like, yeah, just breaking in the business and having an album. Like, I don't have an album. That's something I wanted to do this year. It kind of fell through, but
so you feel behind, not in the skills of stand-up comedy, but in the business end and the physical templates of proof of like, I'm a stand-up comic.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
okay.
A lot of people, you can do mics forever, man, and
Sure
go nowhere
Sure
and
can.
have a great time.
I have seen many a person do mics forever and go nowhere and have a great time.
Well, yeah.
So like, you have enough time for an album for like an hour?
If I put it all together, I could do an hour. I could do an hour of my material for sure. I've done 20 minutes, but like the album's different. Like, it's got to be, you know. It's got to be polished, an album, like, you know.
So you don't mean like film it. That would be a whole undertaking to film it, right? You mean like old school, maybe not vinyl, which would be sick. To make a vinyl comedy record would be fucking amazing. But you mean just the audio, just like putting it out on like Spotify or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fucking tell me I'm wrong here, but why not just do it?
That's what I was thinking about doing. Just make a date. I'm not good at that stuff though, man. Like time just will go by, and then you got. I think you just got to make a date in a venue, and then once you have that.
It's like a procrastination thing. So that first step is the hardest step, and then once you get that momentum, you're good.
For me, pretty much, because I haven't done it. But
Right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I feel like I'm chastising you, which is not what I meant to be.
No. You're good, dude. You're good. I don't know. I can go up and do 10-minute set. I have trouble sometimes finding what material to do, man. Like I don't know. It's a weird anxiety I get, dude. Like before a set.
Like what material to do?
Yeah, like tonight, I know what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, sometimes it's just like, man, like you were doing something at a mic and then now you're going at a show. You want to bring up your best stuff. It's every comic, I think, has a little bit of that. Mm-hmm. But
what's your artistic process for, like, writing and stuff? Like, how do you come up with material?
Yeah, a lot of it's just some of the new stuff is just spawns in my brain.
Gotcha.
Through like random life.
Just taking in life and then.
Yeah, like I went to Burger King and like had a weird experience there. Like this could be a bit, dude. Or like this is weird.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll do it on a mic and then kind of go in cold and then talk through some of the points I had and then listen to it. A lot of my stuff is just listening to my sets, and then while I'm like I go to the gym, like while I'm listening to my set, I like write while I'm listening to it, different ideas and how you could twist it up. Mm-hmm. But like for the album's sake, it'd be good to have like a running list, you know.
Would you want like? Okay, so the process to making an album, because I fucking don't know. That's the other issue I'm having personally. I've been doing comedy going on 7 years, and then been here. And after moving here, it feels like those years are wiped away because nobody knows me. So like I showed up here, and for everyone's perspective, I might as well have been my first year of doing comedy. So I don't understand. I'm still working on the business end as well, like hitting people up, trying to get booked, things like that. So you're saying to make this album, the first step would be finding a venue?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, if I had that, then I'd be balls to the wall trying to put all my stuff together. But I think you do need something that flows in like an artistic album sense. You know, I don't know.
I mean, when I think of places to film or whatever, I immediately go to Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah.
Like, I immediately am like, okay, well, you can pay for the space, you can set everything up there. Do you think that's feasible? Like Lincoln Lodge, maybe the Blue Room?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. I would like to be like at a place where I'm familiar with, but like I don't know.
Are you not familiar with Lincoln Lodge? Like that was?
Not like as much as other people.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a North Bar guy, 100%. What happened, by the way? That made me really sad.
Yeah, I love North Bar, man. So somebody bought the building. So North Bar was a bar for all the listeners. Had a lot of comedy shows. Great venue, man. Great audio. Great stage. Kind of a hole in the wall place, but they had to move out because the building owners were selling the property and they didn't want the bar to be open just for like risk management.
It made me so sad.
Dude, you saw like Power Hour and it was getting pretty good.
There was a show a night there, Mike a night. I remember that was the first. That was the very first open mic I did was North Bar. I got to Chicago after 48 hours of driving, 48 hours straight. I didn't have a mattress. I didn't have shit in my apartment. And then when nighttime hit, because I got to Chicago like around noon. So when nighttime hit, I was like, oh, I gotta go somewhere. And I looked on the comedy whatever Instagram, and I saw that North Bar wasn't too far. And I ventured off, and that was my first mic out here. So that makes me really sad that it's gone. But
that's tight. Was it Thursday? I don't know.
Fuck, what day was
I remember. I think I met you in North Bar.
I think it was Thursday. And I remember I got there, and it was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I did my usual sit down thing on stage because I do that. And there's like 4 people in there. You might have been in there, man. It's trippy to think about.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I probably was, dude. It's probably my mic.
That's so wild, man.
Yeah, man.
And then, so you've been doing stand-up consistently for about 5, 6, how many years was it again?
Say 8 years.
8 years consistently. Yeah. Do you, and you've been in Chicago doing it. So do you feel like you're a part of the Chicago scene? Do you feel like, I'm trying to word this. Like, if you know where I'm going with this, by all means, cut me off. But in talking to people and being here for a year and kind of watching things, there feels like there's pockets. Like a lot of, I don't want to say cliques because that has like a negative connotation.
Yeah.
But I see the South Side and then the cliques within the South Side. I see the North Side in a general sense. And then there's the improv people. And then within the North Side, I see kind of a punk rock comic thing. I see I feel like you might be involved with them.
I know. Man, I'm not in any, I wouldn't say I'm in any pockets or cliques, dude. I kind of like get along with everybody, and I don't really hang out with a lot of comics, like, because I got a lot of friends that don't do comedy.
That's so healthy. Good
I know,
for you.
man. I go to my buddy's house and watch Bears every Sunday. Like, dude, I've been doing it here so long, like, people kind of, I know people from like when they first started, like before the pandemic, and like it's cool like seeing other people like grow and stuff. But like for me, I've been doing it so long that like people just know me from like way back when.
Right.
I did comedy in Madison for a year too. I went to school there.
Where's Madison?
Madison, Wisconsin. They got a comedy club there. I lived there for a year after I just got done like my first year trying out comedy in Chicago. I went back to school and did it there, and then came back. And then I had a weird journey, dude. Like early on, like I did.
Regale me, sir. The beginning of this journey. So you're in college.
I was in college at Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin. I did an internship here it was an 8-month internship.
What were you studying in college?
Mechanical engineering. Yeah. I got a degree in mechanical engineering. So
you're an engineer.
Yeah.
Do people know that?
So I don't talk about it as much as I should. People do know that, but not a lot of people know that.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah. So I did this internship, and then that's when I started. I was in Chicago, like working, and that's when I started trying out the mics and stuff. And then because they had a website, I saw it was just like no, and then went back to school. And I was like addicted, did it there. I was like a member of the comedy scene in Madison, Wisconsin. It was real small. And then came back here for my full-time job. I graduated school. Then I got laid off from my first job, which sucked. And I took a job in Indiana. So I kind of relocated for 6 months in Bloomington. And I was doing some comedy in Indiana. I got to know a lot of people out there, dude. Like, it's crazy, man.
Did you get to go to the Drop, too?
I did do the Drop, yeah,
nice,
and Indianapolis, like Crackers and
so
Louisville.
You've been all over the Midwest in terms of the comedy.
Pretty
stuff.
much, like Indiana, Kentucky, Madison, Wisconsin, like central Wisconsin, and Chicago, but not as much as I probably should. But there's so much out there, man. Comedy's cool because you can go to any city and there's going to be a comedy scene.
Right.
You know, it's kind of cool, man.
It's a very fluid, fluid, and this could be considered an insult, but low bar that anybody can just do it. And that's really cool and also really disturbing sometimes, depending on the situation. Yeah. But you're an engineer and you don't talk about that on stage.
I had something, man. Like, I had this idea, dude. Like,
I'm just grabbing water. I'm listening.
Like a lot of engineering's like equations and how it relates to the world. So it'd be funny to do an equation like a lesson, like a YouTube lesson, but then compare it to something that's kind of funny, like heat transfer on a toilet seat or something, like, and then like break it down like real scientific, but like also use profanity and all it. But it's like smart.
The true mind of an engineer
would be funny, man. But yeah, it's not that. to me, it's not that funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what is funny to you? Okay, so like my philosophy of comedy personally is being your most stand-up comedy, not like comedy films, but like just the art form of stand-up comedy. Being your most authentic self to me is paramount, and I'm still working on that. Like trying to, peel away the layers at what I am in my core so I can be as authentic as possible on stage. And I think that coupled with an authentic perspective is what's key to me. But for you, what are your philosophies on the comedy and all that?
that's a good point. Yeah, I really like silly, funny, like life stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like interactions and just like for instance, like weird ideas that people don't dive into. It's kind of risky because sometimes it's not authentic to me. It can be
Funny for the sake of funny.
yeah, but also like somebody else could think of the same thing or do it, or somebody might have done it. So I burned like a bunch of material. Some of my better bits I've had to burn because they've been done, but not like a long time ago. But recently while I've been doing them.
You see other comics doing similar idea.
Like I had this robot bit. I could still probably do it, man. But like, it was like one of my best bits.
Mm-hmm.
And then John Mulaney did something similar on SNL, like in his monologue. So
what was the bit? Like,
it was,
do you remember?
yeah. So like, all right. So like, how you log into things and they say like, you got to check a box like I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
All right. There's like T-shirts and shit on this now, but like I had this bit where like, the robot is like, I like personified the robot to where like they're honest, like they know they're a robot, so they're not gonna
like a self-aware robot.
Yeah, like oh shit, I'm a robot.
Yeah.
Like like I can't check that box.
Brr. So
yeah.
So the I guess when I hear that you're an engineer or whatever, to me that is ripe for material, because that's a perspective that other than like Brian Rowe, nobody else really has. I don't know. I don't even know if you're the same type of engineer that Brian Rowe is. Do you know what Brian Rowe does?
He's like construction management.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not, but I'm not a robot. No, I'm just kidding around. I'm just kidding around, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanical engineer, so like it's just like, man, like you do all this school and then it's a tough job, dude.
Really?
Like if you're a real hardcore engineer, it's a lot of stress, and if you're like designing stuff that you need to put your approval stamp on, like for safety, you can have legal ramifications if something breaks and people get hurt. Like they can get you can get in a lot of trouble. Me, I'm in sales, so like it's just a lot more my style and more customer interactions.
So you're not the guy who stamps like this is safe to be putting in babies' mouths or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's not me. There are people that do that. That's like like professional. People have PE, professional engineering certifications, and then they design bridges and sign off on the construction.
Yeah, man, all of that feels
dude.
like something. In the same way that when I tell people I'm an interpreter, people are like, you have to talk about that on stage. Do you know that? I don't know if you knew that, actually.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm an interpreter, American Sign Language interpreter.
Wow,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's badass.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's in the same way that people like, when you think of an engineer, or the average person think of an engineer, I don't think we would consider the stress of something like the legal ramifications with interpreting. People don't understand a lot of the ramifications and the darkness that comes there. So I'm still trying to process like how to put that on stage. I don't know. It's tough, but regardless, it is a unique perspective that most people don't seem to have. And so I don't know. I would wonder what that would look like in a less logical sense and more in an emotional sense. This is, of course, just my philosophy on comedy, but to me, here's a comic that I respect, but I don't find funny at all, is Demetri Martin. Because it is the humor is more like, oh, I see what you did there, rather than laughing. And to me, the opposite end of the spectrum of that would be like Eddie Murphy, where is completely illogical. It's just family and feelings and what it's being a kid and his drunk dad and his uncle. Like, and it's just raw feelings. And to me, that is not the most clever thing, but it is hilarious because it hits me on like a feelings level.
Yeah.
It seems like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like your style leans into logic. You like to play with a sense of logic, puns, playing with someone's perception of logic. Is that making sense, or am I rambling and being a crazy person?
And like some of my stuff, man, is about like these apps and like technology, dude. Like, I just think it's absurd, like how we take fast food. Like, probably somebody else talks about this, but like, I think it's so silly that we're so into our phones and these accounts and online ordering and all that. Like, can I just walk into a McDonald's and like talk to somebody? You know,
Right.
It's kind of old perspective, but dude,
Harkening
like,
back to the days of young, wanting to
I guess
go into
yeah.
the ball pit at the McDonald's where some kid took a shit.
Yeah, well, we're kind of at that age. I don't know how old you are, but you're probably not much older or younger than me. But like,
I'm 31.
yeah, I'm 32.
There
So
you go.
we
Yeah.
grew up with like, we grew up at a cool time because we weren't around all the technology.
Yeah, it was, I think, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
the iPhone. I remember my first phone I got when I was like 7th grade, but it was a shitty flip phone. It was like a Nokia flip phone that was
Yep.
unbreakable.
Yep.
Like
yep.
you could smash it on the ground, you could hit somebody with it. It could be a weapon, and it would never fucking break. And the battery lasted 3 years. You
Yeah.
never needed to charge it.
Yeah.
That was a good days. Did you?
I had it. Yeah.
And you grew up out here in the Midwest.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Did you have a happy childhood?
No.
Okay, let's dig into that. What happened, sir?
I had a very bad broken home growing up.
Really?
But, yeah.
You seem so well adjusted.
I know. I think I'm just a nice guy. Well, it wasn't like I like grew up in a, you know, I wasn't like terrible, but like it's just tough, man. Like I came from a family of 4. I was the youngest with identical twin and 2 older sisters, and one has mental illness, and like my mom wasn't always like I was home alone a lot, so like it was just like tricky, like especially like young ages, like because my parents were separated. That like I saw my dad lived locally, but like I'd see him. I had to like trade off mom's time, dad's time, like joint custody, and it was a lot of moving around, and I don't know. And then it was different experiences. Like with my dad was a different experience than with my mom, and it was just like a lot of doing stuff on your own. Plus, we weren't well off like financially, so I was always just like, you know, scraping by. But
so I do remember you have a twin. I forgot about that.
Dude, yeah.
And is he also an engineer? What does he do?
He's a geologist.
Geologist.
Yeah.
He's some smart motherfuckers.
Yeah. Somehow.
So you split time between mom and dad, and this was since you were little?
Yeah, since I was 5.
Since you were 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the norm, I guess, is going back and forth.
Yeah.
Do your parents listen to any of this shit? Or
They it doesn't matter. I'm not saying anything bad.
Okay.
Like,
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
I've had people be like, I don't give a fuck who listens. It's like, okay.
I don't care who listens. I know what I'm saying publicly, so
Okay.
if you're listening to this, you know, this
making
is
sure.
Yeah.
So
all good, man.
was thing like, would you describe it as abusive, or was it just difficult financially? Like okay, so for your mom, when you were with your mom, everything all good?
Yeah, everything's fine, man. It was just a lot of like there were just like a couple times, but like it was a lot of like doing stuff independently, like so.
So you're more neglected.
I didn't grow. Yeah, I guess you could call it neglection or just like hard parenting, like most kids, man. Like
80s, 90s.
There's a lot of kids that their parents aren't around, or like you're cooking ramen when you're in 5th grade. You know, like dude, like I don't know, man. Like it was just like eat. It wasn't bad, dude. I feel like it helped me like grow as a person too. Like just
I agree. Like that type of upbringing, I think, is good for independence, building independence. I didn't have that as a kid. So my mom would be off working, but I would be with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So my grandparents were always around. So there was always this looming, feels very dark, but there was always a looming adult figure to take care of things. And the way you grew up, it sounds like, you know, neglect is an aggressive word, but it sounds like you're a latchkey kid. Like you got the key and you went in, the lights are on. Okay, you got to get home, and you have to do shit on your own. And I think that does build a sense of independence.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun. You kind of had no rules, so
Right. Did you do dumb shit?
Yeah, I'd have people. My house was the hangout. Like everybody would come by after school, and
Hang out and do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, just like it's fun not having parents around, man. Like,
Do you think you'll ever move away, like to New York or LA or San Francisco or San Diego?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I love Chicago, dude. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna move, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Chicago born and raised till I die, dude.
Okay.
I'm not moving. Why move, man? I mean, unless you like go all in, dude.
Yeah.
I love Chicago, man.
I love it as well.
Dude, yeah.
It's funny, man. I love it as well. I get the sentiment. I like that people hate on Chicago, so they stay the fuck away. I don't want it to get ruined by more people coming. But at the same time, I don't like when people talk shit about Chicago because they don't understand Chicago. Like, people's perception of Chicago is not... People are picturing Chirac.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've been to very disturbing, concerning, rough places on the South Side. I've been down there now. I actually had an incident when I was down there. It was terrifying. I was going to the Juneteenth celebration, and I was taking the red line because, the red line. And we got off on like 79th Street.
Ooh.
Yeah, and when you go... It's funny how a city works, where you'll be on one block, and it's like, this is really nice, and there's yards and fucking poodles and shit, and you walk a block, and then all of a sudden, it's a war zone. And I was with a friend, and we were trying to find some food, and I was high, so the paranoia was freaking me out. I go over to this gas station, and there's these guys guarding the gas station, and they're just standing there. And I come over, and I'm visibly inebriated. And the guy whispers something, and it felt like it was almost like a password. Like it was either a threat or like a password. And then my friend was like, let's just go in. And I'm like, okay. And so we go in, and immediately the place feels heavy. It feels like we are about to die. It feels like something's about to happen. So we leave. And then another dude, bigger dude, started threatening us and being like, punk motherfucker, like talking like he was going to kill us.
Yeah.
And so then we went as fast as possible to the bus to get to the Juneteenth celebration. Then we got there and it was all fine. It's crazy how, and that was like a couple blocks away. So it's crazy how the city works. I rambled. What the fuck was I talking about?
79th in the red line is,
it's not a
that's
game.
the 78th. Yeah, right on. I'm thinking like 95th. Those are tough. Stops, man. That sucks, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but like,
whatever, it's the city.
It's the city, but that's like, that's the
alive.
part I don't know. I want to venture out and like see other neighborhoods.
Have you never?
I mean, I should, dude. I was just talking to my buddy about this the other day. Like, there's so much to explore that I haven't even like really like. There's western areas and like south side, and like. I'm just kind of in the central north sider. That's kind of where I grew up. So like,
Is that normal for people who grew up out here? They just stay in their area. They don't go anywhere like that.
I don't know, but there is a lot of areas like even on like in Chinatown, and like there's just like there's so many neighborhoods. Even like Albany Park or like there's so many cool little spots that you would never know.
Yeah,
like,
I'm in Albany right now.
This is Albany Park.
Yeah.
Albany Park. I go to Kedzie Inn, like that's like a new neighborhood. I don't go down towards Kimball, man. Like I'm not a big Logan Square guy either.
Do you have an issue with change at all? Like, do you like things to stay kind of the status quo?
I'd probably say I'm just like comfortable in I'm a real routine guy. Like for me, like and being from here and being here so long, like I'm kind of in a routine, but I need to shake things up.
Do you feel happy in the routine, or do you feel something stagnant, or?
I feel happy, man. I think it would benefit me to break things up and like, go to different places.
It does. I think it helps with creativity. I was talking. No, it's not. I almost said I was talking to Bill Burr, like I'm fucking out of my mind. I was listening to Bill Burr Bill Burr, are you a fan?
I like Bill Burr, dude. Yeah.
I was listening to him, and he was talking about like sometimes when you get into that routine in that rut, sometimes it's good to. He'll be like, yeah, I'll read a book that I expect to hate, or I'll do something just completely different to shake it up and build that comedy juice, that creative juice. So you never go to the South Side.
I have it on my. I don't want to say bucket list. That's just a dumb term, but like I want to go to 10 Doors one night, like Bar 10 Doors.
You've
like,
never been there.
Wednesday night. I want to go there, man.
You should go. I literally went there last night. Didn't get on stage.
Okay. I was just talking to a guy at Laugh Factory about this. I'm like, he's like, yeah, it's Wednesdays too. Like Leon Rogers hosts it. Mm-hmm. I want to go out there, man, and like, yeah, I want to experience like that kind, like that. Like, get on a stage on the South Side. Like, dude, like...
You know what's crazy is Bar 10 isn't even... I mean...
Is it? I haven't been there.
It's not even on... Do you know where...
It's Hyde Park?
No, it's not even Hyde Park. It's... Man. Taylor... Do you know Taylor Street Tap?
I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I know where that is, though.
Okay, so literally a block.
Yeah.
Like, it's a block down the street. You're not in the South Side.
Okay, man.
Yeah, it's not even the South Side. It's black people. There's black people from the South Side and the West Side that are there, but the location itself is not even South Side.
Yeah. I'm not like uncomfortable about even being like around like black people. Really, I'm from Evanston. Like I played football with kids in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We were like half black, half white. So I've been cool with like, I don't know, from like a very young age. It was good for me, man.
Yeah.
Like being from Evanston, but like, I want to go there because I like
doing something different.
Doing something different, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then you get different perspectives on different rooms. Like, so every Thursday I do my mic, but like, I want to just shake it up and do something. That's what they tell you should do too. Is like go to other rooms.
Gotta
and
step out your comfort zone.
Yeah, dude, or just like your routine, you know. So
so Bar 10. Yeah, you should do. I was there last night. Didn't go up because it's a interesting. The way Southside rooms work, or at least their mics and shows, from what I've seen, is very, very different from Northside, in that it's almost like a fraternity. Like you have to go through hazing, you know. Like last time I was at Bar 10 was a few months ago, and I bombed horrifically. Like just really not good. And then right after that, I basically taken my first comedy break. So it's been a minute, and it's a lot of that shit's about consistency, and that's how you kind of earn respect, is consistency and continually improving. And you know, if they don't see consistency or improvement, or at least kind of a sense of confidence, it's like, well, you're shark bait. You're done. It doesn't matter. And so, you know, I just didn't get put up. I got skipped around. Like dude, like you never seen Leon Rogers host, huh?
I want to see him host.
He's a fucking fantastic comic. Amazing with his riffing. He's just so beyond at ease on stage. So what he'll do is he'll get on stage. He'll do this. This is an open mic, mind you. So when you picture an open mic, picture whatever you've been experiencing. He'll get on stage. He'll do 15 minutes. And then really set everything up. He'll do 15 minutes. The show technically is supposed to start at 8, like on the flyer, but it starts about 9:30. And then the comics will go up maybe 9:45. He'll bring up his first comic. And what he does is he has the list, and he'll look at, oh my God, it's giving me anxiety. He'll look at the list, and he'll look like he's about to say somebody. And then he'll go back to riffing, and he'll riff, and he'll talk and talk. He'll take the list out again. He'll be like, man, this next cat, he's, but before we get into that, and then he'll talk, and then he'll bring someone up. I shit you not, man, do like 10 minutes between comics. So not everybody will get up. It doesn't matter. You sign up first, last, doesn't matter. You're going up whenever he decides you to go up. And if he just is like, I'm not going to pick you, he's not going to pick you. Simple as that.
Who's all, is it like a lot of comics there? Like,
yeah, it was a lot of Southside comics.
Yeah.
A lot of comics that I don't normally see up here.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe, man. So I highly suggest it. I can't assure you that you'll get on stage the first time, but
Doesn't matter. You can network.
yeah,
You know,
sure.
dude. I love talking outside of shows with comics I don't know, man. And
Yeah, man. It's an
Yeah.
experience. Have you ever done like a Southside? You never done a Southside room before? Like been down there?
No, dude.
Oh, man.
I've done a West Side room.
Okay.
It was sketchy, dude.
It happens. Yeah, West Side feels a little more country to me.
This was in the garage. It was all black, man.
Yeah.
My buddy Big C
Mhm.
hosts. I met him in Madison. He hosted this show in a auto garage his cousin had.
Mhm.
It was crazy, man. Dude, yeah. It was crazy. The guy's like, "All right, you're done." Like, cuz I had to give me 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And like I was killing for the first 5 minutes and then I ran out of material.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah,
If you don't do well, they'll let you know. That's I think that versatility is important. Like, I mean, I know you. I don't think I got a full understanding. You want to be a full-time comic, like that. Like you want to be able to quit your day job and do this like for your career, or is that not?
I don't know if I got the I don't know if I don't know, man. Like that would be pretty cool.
Mm.
All right, but you got to get up to a certain I'm like a real real analytical. Like I want to like just financially wise, like if you're well off, sure, go do whatever you want. I'm kind of like I'm like a working middle class guy. Like I'm just trying to survive and live my life, have a family too. But like that would be cool, man. If you could do it full time. I don't know whether the money's gonna work out though. I'm just worried about that, like, cause it's a tough business, dude. Full time, and there's no
Safety net.
There's no safety net, dude. You kind of got to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard some horror stories, like just knowing other comics, like there's a lot of credit card debt, and I don't know, man.
So for you, it's the lack of stability.
Yeah, it could be just like not having a like lack of stability. Exactly. Like it's comfortable having a structured day job, and you could do comedy outside of work and be successful. Mm-hmm. It's a harder task, and it takes a long time, and you got to be more disciplined too. Mm-hmm. Like when you get off work, you got to go straight into it. I sometimes don't.
Do you do you feel like you lack discipline?
No, it's just like I guess that you could say that in a way, but it just takes a longer time, mm-hmm. Just there's so much time in the day, but if you keep at it, you'll get there. Like, dude, I'm not in a spot where I think I've grown a lot over the first like 8 years of just amateur comedy. Like, I'm not a professional comedian, mm-hmm. but like I'm ready to take that step now. I feel like I'm at a point where like, yeah, you could start going up and doing well. Like,
so you feel like you've hit
if you apply it right.
You feel like you've hit a point in the amount of time you've been doing it and your skill that you are ready to take the next step.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you whatever you're at, what is the next step towards? What is that step? What does that look like?
Just getting regularly booked at clubs and doing more professional shows, like a booked show, like marketing yourself with a clip and just marketing yourself to the business side, like mm-hmm. comedy clubs and festivals. I wanted to get good, dude. Like, mm-hmm. I don't know. You've seen me bomb, so it's kind of funny hearing me talk all this shit. But like, dude, I think if like I just really like honed in, there's something there.
You've seen me bomb. We've all seen each other bomb as part of it. But and my apologies. I can't remember your sets from memory.
Yeah.
My memory is terrible. I have like a memory issue. But
a lot of it's like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of comedies like just being able to not be afraid to go on stage, mm-hmm. or like they're just like feeling comfortable.
Yeah. Do you feel comfortable on stage?
Yeah. I think like every set's different though. It's always a little different with the crowds. Mm-hmm. I think you just got to put in your dues, like do your time, and at a certain point you'll know like if you're gonna do it or not. Like you're getting old, and a lot of people quit around this age too. A lot of people quit around their mid-30s.
Yep.
Yeah,
People drop like flies in this fucking game. Yeah. And I don't know about you personally. I guess for me, there's no option of quitting. Like I would not have moved across the goddamn country for the shit.
Exactly, dude. I see people moving it like that's why I'm a little bit jealous. Like if you people that relocated here for comedy, they come in with a different like to Chicago, dude. They come in with a different point of view. Yeah. Like you know, and me, I've been here my whole life. It's just like it can become convenient almost.
Right. Well, I think that it might be good to shake it up. Like, go to the South Side. Yeah. And if you die, by the way, please don't blame me. Your family, don't.
I'm not going to die. I mean, if I die, that's part of life, man. Like,
I just don't want to be on recording at your funeral. Then Aaron told him to go to 79th Street in MLK.
I'll go down there, dude. I used to work through the South Side, man. I'm not, like, afraid, but, like, I do want to be safe, you know?
I get you. I'm just joking.
But I know, man.
But no, man. I know that you want to stay. I understand the sentiment of I want to be in Chicago forever because I do personally. I do definitely.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about the experience of moving to a different place. That is, dude. It sucks because I would never tell you to leave where you're comfortable, where you're happy at, and at the same time, there is no words to describe what this experience has been of moving away from everyone and everything I know and starting new and fresh and learning. You really learn about yourself when you're in a completely different environment. Like hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical. You had to move to another place for comedy. Where would you move and why?
I'd say New York City.
Okay, why New York City?
It's just I've heard good things. I've never even been to New York City. Man.
You what the fuck?
Yeah, I need to go, dude.
Where have you? Okay, you've been. Okay, you've been in Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Indianapolis. Is that a city?
I was in southern Indiana, but Indianapolis is out there. I visited there a bunch of times.
Okay, where else have you been?
Louisville. I lived in Louisville for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Texas.
Been to Texas?
Yeah, haven't done comedy there. My brother lives there. Been to the East Coast, but I was younger, like Boston.
So, like, as an adult, though, you haven't been a lot of places.
Yeah, no.
Dude, get the fuck out of here. Go do something.
I know, dude. I want to go to my buddy's trying to book a New York trip. Like, yeah. Man, it's just like, that's kind of like the city, you know? Like the...
You have everything put in words.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Chicago's the best, man.
It really is the best. But what about, dude, I went to Ireland in 2017. Dude, check this out. Check this tattoo out. Like, I got that shit in Ireland.
No shit.
Yeah. You should, I think you would love Ireland. I think you would love Europe. I don't know if that's ever been a thing in your mind, but you seem probably pretty Irish.
Yeah.
Okay. Descent?
Yeah. My grandma's big time. But, man, it would be cool to... I don't travel a lot. I should. It's hard, man. Like
it is. Yeah, I'm being an ass.
No,
COVID, money, life. Like you're not wrong.
COVID, man.
COVID fucked up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for me, like comedy wise, it kind of did because I was just starting to like get in a groove, and like I listen to my old sets, man, and then it's just kind of weird, dude. I'm not gonna say anything about COVID, dude, but I didn't do any Zooms, shows. But man, New York would be the place, man. New York, because like the comedy I know the comedy scene's like huge there, and then
huge.
If you could find a job, make it work, dude. Like
this guy, this is Ryan Thomas.
Yeah,
this looks really sexual. Now that I look at that picture, that shit looks super sexual.
Nah, it doesn't.
but so that he came from San Francisco, moved to New York. And he talks about it, and he was saying it is intimidating. It's definitely scary because it's big and aggressive, and like it is the top of the top tier comedians that are famous, you know.
Yeah.
And so I can't I can't deny that it wouldn't be scary. But to me, if something is kind of scary, if it makes you a little scared, that's probably the healthy thing to do. It's probably the thing you should be doing because it makes you grow and shit. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being goofy.
No, man. That's what I listen to some podcasts. They say like do what you're not comfortable doing. You'll feel better when you get it done. I just listened to that the other day, like hearing that word, like, and then it, I don't know, man. I feel like you get anxiety doing stuff that it's not pretty routine, but once you do it, you feel a lot better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like let's say in comedy, what's one thing that you feel uncomfortable with or uncomfortable trying or doing?
It's really like just anxiety of doing the big show and doing it good, but like
Big show like Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Laugh Factory.
Yeah, I always get anxiety before for whatever reason it is. I get like that, it's not gonna be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But then you do a place you're comfortable with, you kind of go up and you're a different performer. I want to get to that level where like I'm that mentality because I haven't been doing that many big clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I used to every week in Madison, but like then you just do it for like a year. Like I'm really making an effort to do the open mics and
Laugh Factory.
Yeah, Laugh Factory, Comedy Bar, get back into that. Like just really like putting the time, effort in, and then you get comfortable. You start to know what it's like,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, breaking out of that comfort zone and then doing it routinely, like get that into your routine. But
I get you. You've done outside of the mic, have you done Laugh Factory outside of their open mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
Good. I got 12 minutes and it went well.
Nice.
Like I had the place rolling, and then the open mic's a different animal, but like
3 minutes is just
it's tricky,
is
man.
very frustrating.
But we'll see, dude. Like I mean, you gotta have 3 minutes though. You can't be a dog up there. You gotta like go up there and you gotta throw down.
Yeah, that's the idea.
100% of the time.
Yeah, I think that mentality. I go back and forth on it. That competitive mentality.
Yeah.
The thing you need to throw down because part of me, I think it gives you a lot of gas. But for me personally, it gives you a lot of gas, gives you a lot of fuel. But then for me, it turns into a resentment and anger. Like if I don't do well, so I also need to balance it out with like, this also isn't a competition. It's just me up there. I'm just being me, doing my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a balance thing. It's a balancing act. But
you seem pretty like chill. Like when you do seem like pretty like consistently like with like when I see you on stage. It's unique. It's unique. It's kind of hard to develop, but like I don't know, man.
Do you think you can teach someone how to be funny? Or like comedic timing?
I think you can teach structured writing. Man, I'm telling you, dude, like you can tell it works, man. Like it's kind of weird science, dude. I've been doing comedy a while.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd almost expects your jokes to be, sometimes they expect it to be a certain way, or when you do it a certain way, you get a laugh, right?
What do you mean a certain way?
Like if you watch YouTube videos of writing, like there's techniques there's people that write books on how to write stand-up jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a course you study in school, dude.
Yeah.
But the crowd will laugh if you do like a punchline a certain way. Like the punchlines, I've noticed at clubs, the punchlines are a lot more, that's where the money's made. Like if you can deliver the punchline well. And sometimes I struggle with that,
What do you mean by delivering the punchline well?
Like, all right, so it's kind of a thought in my head I'm trying to put into words, but like just a crispy set with like if you watch like the reels of like how a comic performs, staying following the rules, and then you got this funny line that you like wrote and you punched it up, right? So I've got those, but like if you if you study comedy and you write a lot, you could write a punchline. It might not be funny, but you could write a punchline, right? So
Set up. Okay, so like
Like
we're
s-
talking about the structure. So
structured,
set a
yeah.
punchline, setting up an expectation, subverting that expectation.
Yeah.
Saying the thing that the audience wasn't expecting, but does still make sense for your setup.
Yeah.
Now, when you say delivering that punchline,
Like in the structure of a joke.
Right.
Like a written out joke that you learned at the Second City. I like subliminal, like I like visual comedy too, like delivery and stuff. Like that's the best, man. Like when somebody's just like up there and dude's just funny, you know? Dude's goofy. Like that's funny, man. Like you can walk up on stage and get a laugh by saying nothing. You know? That's brilliant. That's to me that's
do you have a
much
top 5?
better,
Is there anybody
man.
that inspires you that you're trying to emulate to some degree?
I mean, I honestly like I grew up watching like George Carlin a lot. I think he's great, man. Like he's old style, but like he's just kind of a goofy guy. And then I really like Bill Burr a lot too. And let's see, you know, I don't really watch a lot of comedy, dude. But I probably should. Somebody told me to watch more comedy and like study them. But like, man, Dave Chappelle, like, I like a lot of the cliche ones, dude. Like, but I should watch more comedy too. I don't really watch comedy, dude.
You know who I personally have been really enjoying and in a lot of ways trying to emulate is Ali Sadiq. I could send him to you. His new special, actually, he put it on YouTube. He has impeccable storytelling ability and an ease on stage as well. Like, you know, I like sitting down on stage. He is the master of sitting down and keeping everyone's attention. One of the things I've noticed with sitting down is so consistently is it does not lower the energy, but it takes it to a frequency that's very chill. And following somebody that's big and spastic and loud and whatever, following that and then bringing the energy down to this chiller level can be it can really, you're riding this line of like, okay, now this is boring. And he just makes it so engaging. I'd suggest it.
I'll check him out, man. I asked people like send me some clips, dude. Like, how are we doing on time?
We're good. We got like a few more minutes.
Yeah, man. Like, send me that because I like seeing. It's such a cool art form, man. We're artists, you know. Like you could do it so many different ways too. It's cool to be unique and different, and like that's the thing. Like. You can't, like, some people do comedy differently, and
I'd actually like this for like my last question for you, which is, what do you think makes you unique? What makes you different than everybody else in the Chicago scene? If you have an idea of it, if not, I know that's putting you on the spot.
I come with like some original like points of views. I think like that people aren't. It's not really necessarily me, but it's more like in general. Like life experiences. Just I like to play to the audience's perspective too. Like a big crowd of people. Like, what are you all thinking about this? Have you seen this? Or like, I don't know, man. I think some of my jokes are pretty. Like that's Paul Miller's joke. Like this stupid, like silly thing I'll say. You know, but yeah, like people will quote me on some of my jokes. Like, I don't know, man. I got a different voice, I'd say, like a different way of saying things. But we'll see, dude. I'm only 8 years in. I'm still figuring it out, dude. I'm trying to have fun, dude.
Yeah.
And
we are all still figuring this crazy comedy.
It's
game.
crazy, man. And I'm doing a good job, like balancing everything. I've got the triad going on, dude. I got a relationship, job, comedy. People say you can't do all three, right? Something's gonna suffer. It's hard, man. Like I'm being a good partner.
That's good, man.
You know, but it's hard because you want to do comedy and you got to balance it. You got to work. use your time smart, work smart, and.
Well, I think congratulations on finding that balance if you feel like you have.
I've got a balance, but it's hard to do all three. So
I get you.
You
You ready to take this picture?
Let's do it, man. It was good talking to you, dude.
You as well.